ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकृद्भ्यो नमः। नमः श्री गौडपाद श्री शंकर भगवत्पाद सुरेश्वराचार्येभ्यः। प्रज्ञानां सुप्रदानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्टान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ्मायया भोजयन्नः मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परम् अमृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। त्रिषु धामसु यद्भोज्यं भोक्ता यश्च प्रकीर्तितः वेदैतदुभयं यस्तु स भुञ्जानो न लिप्यते सः। It is untouched or he is untouched. Untouched despite being active. Trishu dhamasu yad bhojyam bhokta yaha prakirtitaha etadubhayam yaha veda saha tu bhunjanaha na lipyate. The one who is the knower, the knowership is incidental, but the essence of the knower, the content of the knower, which is Shuddha Chaitanya, Chinmatram, Jnapti Swarupam. Every experience, the experience which is called Three Dhama, the three Dhamas, which are waken, dream, and deep sleep. These are the Dhamas where all world experiences are. What we call as world experience, the Jagat Anubhava, including the I experience, that I exist, the world exists, this is how I am experiencing the world. All these are happening in these three Dhamas only. There is nothing other than these three Dhama, correct? Your whole world experience is reducible to these three Dhamas. Not even reducible, that is how they are. You don't have to reduce it. In your understanding, you can reduce it, that there are three Dhamas. I have a waking, I have a dream, I have a deep sleep. Everything is within these three. The entire universe, imaginations, creativity, ignorance, interactions, work, everything, anything, happiness, sorrow, anger, all emotions, all perception, inferences, everything is within these three Dhamas. And these three Dhamas, the three states of experience, is for who? It's for the Bhokta, the consumer. So there is a consumer with reference to these things which are consumed, and for the benefit of the consumer is all these consumptions, correct? The objects of consumption. Bhokta. That bhokta is there and bhojya padarthas are there, and bhoktritvam or bhoga. Bhoktritvam is there, bhojyatvam is there, bhoga is also there. That is Triputi. The threefold nature by which all your experiences are obtained. And that which is beyond all this is the one who is seeing both. Bhokta is seeing what? The bhojya only. Whereas Ubhayam Yaha Veda, both Bhokta and the Bhojya are together witnessed by the Sakshi Pratyaksha, which is Jnapti Swarupa itself. Saha Nalipyate Bhunjanaha. Despite it is having the bhoga of both Bhokta and Bhojya. In the sense, it's not actually having a bhoga, it is as though there is a witness perception. Saha Nalipyate. Chakshusas Chakshuhu. Shrotrasya Shrotram. Manaso Manaha. Witnessing. So there is a beautiful example that Bhashyakara is going to show. Like a magician, we will see that. You're just seeing what is going on. Though appears as though the magician is actively within the magic, but he is outside the magic. Nalipyate. The screen in a theater, movies are running on it, right? Some old theaters, if you go, so those screens would have seen Amitabh Bachchan, Dharmendra, Prithviraj Kapoor, then Raj Kapoor, then Anil Kapoor, then whatever other Kapoors today, Sonam Kapoor and all that. But the screen is screen. It is untouched by what happened on it, right? One day there is a religious movie, next day there is an action movie, next day there is pathos, then there is a comedy movie. Keeps running on the screen, but the screen is not touched by any of those. In fact, the only truth is that screen. Nobody realizes that screen. There is no recognition of the screen. Right from the beginning till the end, there is only what is shown on the screen is seen by you. Even during interval these days, something keeps coming. So the screen is missed in your perception of the world. But the truth of that thing is only screen. The rest is all projection. So the projection is a different order of reality. The screen is a different order of reality. So one order of reality cannot touch another order of reality. That's what it is. So Amitabh Bachchan shooting the villain, it doesn't pierce the screen. The bullet may just go and hit 100 people. He can shoot like with a stun gun and all that, right? But then the screen is untouched. None of them tear the screen. There may be a big sword Bahubali will be using, but that sword doesn't tear the screen because it's a different order of reality. It is Paramarthika Satyam. The sword and bullets are Vyavaharika Satyam. It's empirical, as though seen. But that which lights it up, that which supports it, the screen, na lipyate. Here also, Chinmatra is the truth, because anything you see, anything you perceive, anything you experience is not separate from the Chit. When we say it's not separate from Chit, means what? All that is here is only Chit. Like we are saying, Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra and Anil Kapoor are not separate from the screen. Means what? There is only screen. There is no Amitabh Bachchan at all in that place, correct? It's very similar. That's why Sabunjanaha Nalipyase Trishu Dhamasu Yad Jagradadishu Stula Pravivyakta Anandakhyam Bhojyam Ekam Tridabhutam. All the experiences are one bucket only. There's no difference. There's only that. It's like movie. The horror movie and comedy movie are same, because Ekameva Tridabhutam. Those are all just they are, in a sense, they are just experiences, movie experiences, that's all. There may be various emotions attached to it, doesn't matter. Likewise here, Stula Jagradadishu, Stula Pravivyakta Anandakhyam Bhojyam, Ekam Tridabhutam. One alone is there in threefold way. Yascha Vishwataijasa Prajnakyaha Bhokta Ekaha. The Bhokta is one, like the screen is one. So it's like I am wearing different shirts, different dresses. I am playing different roles as a father, as a son. I have different emotions. When I see somebody, I get angry. When I see somebody, I am happy. But still, as a person, I am one. It just all the other things are incidental to me. Similarly, here the Chetana Vastu, Vishwataijasa Prajnakyaha Bhokta Ekaha. It is the same experiencer who is available as Vishwa Taijasa Prajna. Sohamiti Ekatvena Pratisandhana. Because I know that it was me who dreamt. It was me who had a deep sleep. And I am the one who am talking to you now. Drashtutva Avisheshacha Prakirtitaha. So the screen, if it had a intelligence, it will know. When Dawn movie was running, it was me. When Sholay was running, it was me. When Girafdar was running, it was me. Today, when something else is running, also it is me. It will know. Drashtutva Avisheshat Prakirtitaha Sohamiti. Because there is continuity of recollection. The Ekatvam is there. So it's not three. It is obvious, right? We all know that. There are no three, one waker, one dreamer, one deep sleeper and all that. It is same. Despite the characteristics are very different. A deep sleeper's characteristic is very different from the wakened person's characteristic. In fact, the person who is deep sleeping doesn't even know it's his or her own identity, doesn't recognize. So what is available in waken is not the same from a content, the nature. They are very different, right? A dreamer is different, a deep sleeper is different, attributes are different, but still there is a thread which is common, because that thread is saying, I am the one who slept. And where is that continuity coming from? That is the drashta. Drashtutva avisheshat prakirtitaha yaha veda etadubhayam bhojya bhoktritaya anekada bhinnam saha bunjanahan lipyate. Even though it's the witness, the sarvasakshi, even consuming all this, knower known, seer seen, doer done, all of those couplets it is still untouched. Bhojyasya sarvasya ekasya bhoktuhu bhojyatvad. Nahi yasya yaha vishayaha saha tena hiyate vardhadeva. Nahi agnihi svavishayam dagdva kashtadi tadvate. So we saw till here that like the fire in its nature, it remains the same despite any kind of experience it is having in terms of whether it is burning a small bush or it is burning a big forest. Its swarupa hasn't changed. Likewise, when you are doing a Vacan experience, see that is why he gave that example of fire. Because in a Vacan experience, your experience is huge. You have all the indriyas are there, you have shabdas, you are experiencing the universe. There are huge things you are perceiving, you are having a free will, your mind is thinking so many things. There is so much color around it, right? In a Vacan. Whereas in a dream, it is very limited. There is no free will. Your perception is so short. It is focused on a few things. And in deep sleep, it's even smaller. Only darkness you are witnessing. So there is a range. This Vacan is huge. Dream is little smaller. Deep sleep is even smaller. But your Swarupa, because of it, doesn't grow up or grow down. Like a fire, it can burn a forest, it can burn one tree, or it can just be inside a small flame. Correct? It's just like a spark in some place. But the nature of fire is fire. The same fire can go. It is the same fire which is there available in a cigarette lighter as a latent heat which can burn the whole forest. But its essence is the same. So the Swarupa, it can experience the big vacant state with all its urdhvamulam adashakam ashrattam prahura avyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam vedan savedaviti adaschordvam prasritastasya shakaha gunapravriddaha vishayapravala adasta mulani anusantadani karmanubandhini manushya. Bhagavan says in Gita, right, about how is this samsara, how is this world manifest as branches and leaves and all that, right? This whole jagat, chandamsi yasya parnani. But it's all from that one avyakta seed. Like that, this whole world experience is because of what? That same chid. That chin matram, which is without an experience there in the deep sleep. It is the same chin matram, that satta which is manifesting as this whole jagat, because in this experience also all that is there is only chit. Is there anything which is outside of chit? Any experience you take, when you are looking at the sun, when you are looking at the moon, when you are looking at mountains, or when you are showing anger, or when you are touching something, when you are tasting something, when you are smelling something, are you away from Chetana Vastu? Is any of this experience separate from Chaitanya? Can you spot one experience and say, in this experience there is no Chaitanyam? Is there any one thing, one small bit which is away from Chaitanyam? Can you show? No. Every experience is pervaded all the time, including time, is pervaded by Chaitanya. In fact, other than Chaitanyam, there is nothing. So, what is this Chaitanyam? Whatever is in the deep sleep without an experience. Only darkness is experienced. It is the same Chaitanyam which is manifest as this whole full-bloomed Jagat. So, Bhashyakara says, the fire doesn't change depending on what it is burning. Its essence remains the same. It's just that sometimes it's consuming a forest, sometimes it's consuming one tree, sometimes it's just there inside a matchstick, or inside a cigarette lighter, or as a small, we should take, because it is in latent form. If you have to take it like a spark of fire in a very small, this in a lamp with this very less fire is there, right? It's small one, and then you can slowly kindle, and that same fire can burn the whole forest. That is how it is. The fire is the fire. So he gave that example. Prabhavaha sarvabhavanam satamiti vinishchayaha sarvam janayati pranaha chetam shun purushah pritak. Chetom shun purushaha pritak sarvam janayati pranaha. Sarvam janayati pranaha. So this prana shabda we saw in the last class. Prana is avyakritam. This avyakritam janayati sarvam, from which everything is born. From sat, prana is sat sabda vachyam. We already saw, no, last session. Sadeva saumya idamagra asit. It said prana bandhanam hi somya manaha. So all the indriyas and mind go and resolve in prana. Chandogya says. So it is sat sabda, sadeva asit. And that sat from which the whole manifested jagat has come, and this has come we already saw. It is within time, and time itself is created. So it was unmanifest and is manifest. Okay, that's how we have to understand. Means sadeva asti, sadeva asit, idantaya yadyad grihyate, drishyate. That jagat, what is seen and known as this world, I am this perception, this world, this I am seeing, is nothing but sat. So how did it come about? At the beginning there was sadeva asit, only sat was there. So now it has come because of avyakritam. The unmanifest became manifest. Sarvam janayati prana. That is what is prana shabda. In Brihadaranyaka also this prana shabda is used. Indro maya bihi pururupayate. We are going to see that. Indra became many through magic. There Indra is a word used for what? Brahman only. Similarly, here prana is used for avyakritamaya. It is, we have to understand, like I said in the previous session, the words are used for understanding, not to name something. Prabhavaha sarvabhavanam satam. From sat alone, prabhava, prasavaha. Everything is born. Everything is born from satam iti vinishchayaha. It is ascertained by who? By Shruti. Sarvam janayati. Purushaha pritak pranaha cheto amshun. So like the sun rays pervade everything, likewise this Brahmavastu pervades individual Jiva Rupas. That's what is going to tell now. Every Jiva is nothing but the rays, the Chaitanya Prakasha of Swarupa. Chidabhasa, we say. Because Ajnana Upadhi is where it is reflected. Satam Vidyamananam Swena Avidya Krita Nama Rupa Maya Surupena Sarvabhavanam Vishwataijasa Prajna Bhedanam Prabhavaha Utpattihi Satam Vidyamananam. So Sat means Vidyamanaha, the existence. What is this existence? What do you mean by this? Satta Samanyam we say. Sadeva Saumya Idamagrasi. Sat means existence. Chit I can understand. You are saying consciousness, okay, fine. But what is the Sat? Sachidananda, we say. What is the Sat? Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha. In that shloka, whoever attended the Bhagavad Gita will know. There he addresses this. Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha na bhavo Vidyate Sataha ubayoho api dishtontaha tu anayoho tattvadarshibhihi. There Bhagavan says, Bhashyakara says, Sangataha, Sanpataha, Sanhasti. Like that, the Sat is getting attached. Always there. When I say pot is, book is, laptop is, Guruji is, I am, Bhagavan is, anger is, happiness is, light is, tree is, ignorance is. What invariably exists in every cognition I am having is the easiness. The easiness is not adjective to part. When I say Sangataha, I think part is the substantive and Satta is an adjective. Sangataha, Sanpataha. So Gataha, when I say that is part, San means ease. So the easiness, I think, is an adjective to part. Because part I am saying, what is this easiness? It seems to be something, a status of part. Whether part exists or doesn't exist. That's how we think, right? Part is means there is part. Part is not is the opposite of part. Correct? The absence. Gata abhavaha, gata bhava pratidvandvi. So they talk about praga bhavaha, pradvamsa bhavaha, anyonya bhavaha, and all that. The pre-absence of part, when the prior absence of part is destructed, then part is born. And when part dies, the post-absence of part is born. And in mat, there is part absence. And in part, there is mat absence. That is called anyonya bhavaha. So they say this abhava exists. That's what an Nayayika will say. That is a padartha. So pradvam pragabhava pratidvandvi is your bhava padartha. They talk like this. But we are talking about parties, matties, bookies. The easiness is not the status of the part, but it is the content of the part. And even when part is absent in your cognition, there is a book cognition, or there is a tree cognition, or if there is a moon cognition, everywhere what is the substance is the easiness. The moonness is incidental, the partness is incidental, the madness is incidental, the angerness is incidental, but easiness is not incidental because easiness is always there. Satta pradhanatvam comes from where? From your swarupa. That's why we say satta spurti pradhanena. The sattatvam, spurti, both of them are given, provided by your swarupa. And that easiness is samanya, is constantly there. That is satta samanya. In 3 points of time, satta is there. In 3 states of experience, satta is there. In 3 puras, satta is there. In every 3, it is there. That's why the Tripundram we spoke about once. Tripundram is satta samanyam. Everything is basma. Underlying basma stands for sadvastu. Because that easiness is the essence. Like I told once, when you burn anything, it becomes black ash, black substance. Then it becomes, you further burn, it becomes black ash. And you further burn black ash, it becomes white ash. You continue burning white ash, it will remain as white ash. Likewise, in your mind, all the Namarupa, the world of name and form, you just burn it. Burn it means what? You do vichara of it. It all becomes first avyakrita, then it becomes Satta. Beyond Satta, you can't go. The isness, you can't, you keep burning it, it remains as Satta. That is Satta Samanyam. That Sangataha, Sanpataha, Sanmataha, Sanhasti, here Satta is always there, is what Bhashyakara told in Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha. So Vidyamananam, Satam Vidyamananam, for the existence, Svena Avidyagrata Namarupa Maya Surupena Sarva Bhavanam. So here, whatever exists, forget Sat. Even the temporary as though existing things, Avidyagrata Namarupa Maya Surupena Sarva Bhavanam Vishwatejasa Prajna Vedanam Prabhavaha Utpattihi. Svena Avidyagrata Namarupa Maya Surupena Avidyagrata Namarupaha Rupani. The name and form is on the Sat. Because of what? Because of Avidya. Swarupena. Because of the as though creation. Maya Swarupa. Sarva Bhavanam Prabhavaha Utpattihi. So from the Sadvastu only, all these are born. How is it born? Not by modification, but by the mere presence. So this is Karya. The Karya Jagat is not Parinami by Parinami Karana, but by Vivarta Karana. Like a snake is born on the rope. Without rope giving up its nature, snake is born. Sarva Bhavanam Vishwatejasa Prajna Bhedanam Prabhavaha Avidyagrata Namarupa Maya Surupena Utpattihi. In its essence, it is created by avidya, by lack of knowledge of the Surupa. So it is not the perception we are talking about. You can still see a moon. There is no avidya. The avidya going away doesn't mean that after jnana comes you can't see the moon. The moon will vanish. It doesn't happen like that. It just the person recognizes there is no difference between me and the moon. My Swarupa pervades the moon. That is the avidya going away. The jnanam is the Jiveshwara Aikyam, Ekabhava. Not I am Chit. That is not the jnanam. The jnanam is all that is here is Brahmavastu, Ishvara, and that Ishvara is not separate from me. Everything else is Avidyagrata Namarupa. Vishwatejasa Prajna Vedanam Prabhavaha Utpattihi, from that Vakshyati cha Pandyaputraha na tatvena mayayavapi jayate iti. So an unborn son, Pandyaputraha means a son born to a lady who hasn't given birth. That kind of a son. So basically a mother parentless son. Is it possible? Tatvena mayayavapi na jayate. So there is no birth without there being a parent. Whether it is by essence or even by illusion. Even for a illusion, okay, as though born, I wouldn't say illusion, even for a superposed birth, like there is no snake lying there. Is there a snake? There's no snake. There's only rope. But I see a snake. Then there is pot. There is a pot. Yeah, these are two things, right? One is pot on a clay. The other is snake on a rope. So pot, even if I understand it is clay, there is a pot. I am able to use it. But in the case of rope snake, when I put the light on, I don't see snake anymore. I see only rope. Correct? So one is Maya Srishti. Another is Tattva Srishti. For example, let's take it like that. The pot is a Tattva Srishti. The snake is a Maya Srishti. But for both, we either need a rope or we need clay. Without either a clay or rope, you can't have a snake or a pot. Vandyaputraha न तत्वेन मायया वापि जायते इति यदि हि असतामेव जन्मः स्यात् ब्रह्मणः अव्यवहार्यस्य ग्रहणद्वारा अभावात् असत्वप्रसङ्गः. So if everything was born from asat, non-existence, like the Buddhas say, shunyam, because see, one thing it's very clear, whether it is Buddha or an Advaiti, whoever can do a vichara can easily conclude that what you are seeing is mithya. There is a dependent reality. That is simple, no? It's not very difficult to understand. When I see this cloth, I can reduce the cloth to the thread, yarn, and that can be reduced to a cotton. Cotton can be reduced to molecules and atoms. Atoms and molecules are reduced to energy. Energy is reduced to something else, something else, something else, correct? So the mithyatvam, the dependent reality nature of the seen world, is easy to cognize. Any logical person can understand this. It's not very difficult. You don't even need any pramana. That's why even a Buddha is able to say it is all maya. It is all mithya, or at least they won't say it is mithya. They'll say it is illusion. They are mayavadis actually. Because mithya means it's only dependent reality. We have to say there is a sat underneath. But these are reducible. These don't stand the test of scrutiny. Is something that is known to Buddha also. So Bhashikara says, Yadihi asatameva janmaha syat brahmanaha avyavaharyasya grahanadvara abhavat asatva prasangaha. So if you have to take that everything came from a void or shunya, like a Buddhist does, then brahmanaha, the Brahmavastu, grahanadvara abhavat, you wouldn't be able to cognize the Brahman. Asatva prasangaha, it will say there is no Brahman. However, so then you will ask, okay, so be it. Let there be no Brahman. You are only saying Brahman. No, where I am not seeing any Brahman. Then he says, Drishtam cha Rajju Sarpadinam Avidyagrita Maya Bijotpannanam Rajvadi Atmana Sattvam. Drishtam, it is seen. We all can see in the world Rajju Sarpadinam. In the case of snake which is born on the rope, Avidyagrita Maya Bijotpannanam. So in the cases where the ignorance or lack of knowledge or an error has created something, maya bija utpannanam. So the seed out of the something born out of the seed which is maya, like in the case of superimposed snake on a rope. Rajvadi atmana sattvam. You can say snake doesn't exist, but snake exists as rope. Whatever is the existence you are seeing, when I say there is snake, snake is, but snakeness is mithya, but the easiness is attaching itself to what? The rope. Even when I say snake is not, I have to say rope is. Only when I say rope is, I am in turn saying snake is not. So for me to say snake is not, I have to say rope is. Then only snake's mithyatvam is established in the sattvam of the rope. So niraspadam, a void cannot create something. That's what he is saying. Vandyaputraha na tatpena maya vapi jayate. You can't have a child born of non-parent. There has to be a mother for a birth to take place. That's it. Correct? So the mother is rope here for snake to be born. Snake may be a maya srishti, but still you need a rope. You can't have a snake seen just out of nothing. Even for mirage, he says, I think somewhere later he's going to say, next line itself he says, Nahi niraspadaha rajju sarpa mrigadrishnikadayaha kvachit upalabhyante kenachit yatha rajvam prak sarpotpattehe rajvatmana sarpaha sanneva asit evam sarvabhavanam utpattehe prak pranabijatmana eva sattvam. Niraspadaha, without any substratum, underlying thing, aspadam, without any aspada, without any material cause, even a superimposed thing cannot come. Rajju sarpa, he says, mrigadrishnikadayaha, even a mirage water, it still needs a usharadesa. Yeah, what is that called? Desert or a tar road or whatever, where there should be the heat generated, mirage perception should be there. So something has to be there. Only on something you can see something else. So Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrishnikadayaha Kvachid Upalabhyante Kenachit Niraspadaha. Without any aspadam, you can't even have a imaginary creation. Even for anything to be imagined, you need your mind on which you are making those imagination. So total void, absence, is unacceptable. Shunyavada is not acceptable. Niraspadam, how can it something come? I can say snake, rope appears as snake. Total void, Shunya. How can you see Jagat? Who is seeing the Jagat? What is seen as the Jagat? How can you say void? Everything is Shunya means. Even if you say Kshanikam, then if there is nothing underneath, the Kshanikam becomes reality, correct? See, if underneath the world perception there is nothing, if you say, that means world is Satyam. That's what it is meant. What else you can say? For a Buddhist, you can say it is all Maya, but you are just saying words, because underneath there is no Satyam. So if underneath there is no Satyam, what you see is Satyam. But that is not how it is. There is an underneath. Like if you see the snake, even though there is no snake, there is rope. And if the whole world is reducible to something else, you can't reduce the perceiver to anything else. I can't say I don't exist. I can say these experiences are false, but you can say the movie is not true, but you can't say there is no screen. There has to be a screen for you to be able to project something on. So Niraspadaha is impossible. So Aspadam is essential. You can say both are true. That at least is okay, understandable. Okay, like a Sankhya and all that. Everything is true, Dvaiti says. That is okay. At least to some extent we can say, okay, you are starting to at least look at it. But this Bauddha thing, it is, in fact, Shankara doesn't accept it, even debate with them. He looks at, though people generally think Advaita and Buddhism are close, they both talk about Maya and all that. But by Pratamamalla Nyaya, only Sankhya is taken by Shankaracharya as the main opponent. So we can't, everything is Maya, Niraspada and all is not accepted. In fact, this whole Mandukya Karika addresses Buddhas in a big way. Because I think that was the time when Buddha influence was high, Gaudapada's time. So he handles it here. Niraspadaha satamiti vinishchayaha. Nahi niraspadaha rajusarpa mrigadrishnikadayaha kvachid upalabhyante kenachiti yatha rajvam prak sarpotpattehe rajvatmana sarpaha sannevasi. Before sarpa utpatti in Raju, before the birth of snake in the rope, Rajvatmana Sarpaha Sanneva. The snake was in the form of rope. So in the morning, the snake rope was lying down. It was seen as rope. But as the day went by, in the twilight time, when the sun went down, there is not proper lighting. There is very minimal light. Then the snake has come. 8:30 in the night in a village near a tree. There is a snake lying there. That snake was what? During the daytime, it was rope. Rajvam prak. Prak satpotpattehe Rajvatmana Sarpaha Sanneva Asit. The same snake that you are seeing at 8:30 p.m. was still there at 2 in the afternoon in the form of rope. That is what Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asid Ekameva Dvitiyam. This world was there as Sat before Srishti. Like this snake was there as rope in the afternoon. Now I am seeing a snake. Earlier it was rope. So you understand, right? It is always rope. Just that you are seeing snake now. Likewise, Sadeva Asit, Sadeva Asti. But I am seeing Idantaya Jagat. The moment I see the Sadvastu, this Idan Jagat is falsified. And I recognize it was never there. Evam Sarvabhavanam Utpattehe Prak Prana Bijatmana Eva Satvam. So in the form of prana, in the seed form, that's why he gives Rajju Sarpa example, not even Mritgata example. Because it is an as though snake. Likewise, the Sarva Bhava or as though existence. Prana Bijatmana Eva Sattvam. This Prana Bija only was there, Sadvastu only was there, and Sadvastu only is there. Ityataha Shrutihi api vakti Brahmaiva idam. Not Asit. Here it says Brahmaiva idam. And Atmaiva idam Agre Asit. So Agre also it is Atmaiva. Now also it is Brahmaiva. Sarvam janayati pranaha chetom shunam shavaha ivaravehe chidatmakasya purushasya cheto rupa jalarkasamaha prajnadaijasa vishwabhedena deva manushya tiryagadi deha bedeshu vibhavyamanaha chetom shavaha ye tan purushaha pratak vishayabhava vilakshanan agnivispulingavat salakshanan jalarkavaccha जीवलक्षणान्तु इतरान् सर्वभावान् प्राणः बीजात्मा जनयति. Sarvam janayati pranaha. So this prana is the one from which everything is born. So he doesn't give any special vyakya for it. It's understood. Sarvam janayati pranaha chetom shun purushah pratak. Purushaha tan purushaha pratak chetom shun amshavaha iva ravehe. The rays, amshaha, the rays of the sun. Likewise, chetom shun. The rays of Chaitanya. It is a continuum. It's not like there are bits and pieces of Chidvastu, like a Sankyavada. There are two ways to understand. See, this is where most of the people, Dvaitis, Visishtadvaitis, Sankhya, even like Jains and others, right? The mistake everyone makes is that there is a consciousness which is there in individual jiva. And then there is this body. There are so many bodies. a human body, a bird body, a animal body, and within which there is Chaitanya. Because Agni Vispulingaha, like that it says here also, it says no, Agni Vispulingavate, like the spark of the fire, then it is sitting in every jiva as a one conscious. So there is all this inert body, all nerves, nervous system, this and that, and within that there is one consciousness sitting, and I am that consciousness. If this is what their understanding is, this understanding doesn't help in any way, whether you take yourself as body or you take yourself as some small consciousness within your mind sitting inside this body. It's not a huge difference. It both are samsara only. By just understanding that you are a jiva and not this body, it doesn't mean at all, and that is not Advaitic Veda Upanishadic teaching at all. So we need to understand that I am consciousness is not a teaching. It doesn't end there, and it's actually a wrong notion, because you are attributing reality to all the tangible objects, your body, sun, moon, everything. But in reality, they don't have their own satyatvam, because they are non-separate from Chaitanya Vastu. That we have to understand. It's very important. That's why the term used here is Amshavaha, Cheto Amshun, like the rays of the sun. The rays of the sun is not discrete. They are not discrete. It is a continuum. The sun rays all the way. So when there is a sun ray coming and hitting my leg, it is going all the way to the sun, millions of light years away. A star light comes and hits me, suppose I'm just saying. That means what? So many light years away, that continuum has to be there. All the way from the sun, it has come and touched me, correct? So there is that unbroken thing which is there, Amshavaha. Like the Chetom Shun. Chit is everywhere. Chit is not like here and there. In between there is body and space. Not like there is this body, then the space, this is another person, and within this person another Chaitanya. This Chaitanya and that Chaitanya are the same. It's not like that. In fact, this body, this space, and the other body, everything is within Chaitanya only, no? The Chaitana, Tvam pervades it, because you can't separate it from the Chaitana Vastu. Therefore, Chetom Shunam Shavaha, you are away. Hey. Like a sunlight, the rays of the sun pervades. Likewise, Chaitanya Vastu pervades. Chidatnagasya Purushasya Cheto Rupaha Amshavaha. So this Chidatma Purusha, Chinmatra Purusha, that person's Amshavaha, Chitamsha, that Purusha is Hiranyagarbha Purusha or Paramartha or Brahma, Brahmavastu. Jalarka Samaha, like the reflection of the sun in water. See, that's why Bhashikara doesn't, he uses the Amshavaha first, because the Karikakara uses Amshavaha. Here he uses this term Jalarka Samaha, the reflection of sun in water. This Jala is Ajnana. We have to understand. Jala is equivalent of Avidya, Maya, Upadi, not physical body. Because the moment we say Jalarka Samaha, reflection of sun in water, the water attains an equal reality as what? As the sun. It is no lesser order of reality. So then you have two things. There is sun, there is water. So the Upadi gains a status equivalent to that which it is reflecting. Therefore, it is a problem. The moment you say it is body or any of these Upadis, then you are essentially saying that the reflecting medium has a truth in it. Then Dvaita comes. Therefore, we have to just for the understanding, it is Avidya Upadi. And that Avidya also from Sadvastu perspective, there is no existence. Only to explain away, in the time there is avidya is there, we use the term avidya. It's all teaching methodology. We have to understand this. So you shouldn't take all these things as absolutes. That will be a mistake you will commit. Then it becomes you will be only assuming. It is about a model which will be there, and you will be thinking, okay, it will all remain paroksha. That's what I'm saying. You will be thinking, okay, like this body is there, that is upadhi is there, and within that this chit is reflecting all that. Some teachers are even teaching like that, no, reflecting medium, chit and chidabhasa, RC, OC, original consciousness, reflected consciousness, all that. If we start talking that language, the problem that comes is the reflecting medium will attain a status of being true. So there is no original conscious, reflected conscious. You can't, it just, you see, Bhashyakara just uses this in a very passing way to show that all that is here is only that Surya Prakasha, which is available to you in your, even though you are a Jiva now, you don't have Jnana, but how come Brahma's Swarupa is kind of known to you? Because it is reflecting. That is what is the purpose of saying this. So Jalarka Samaha, because he is trying to explain this Prajna Taijasa Vishwabheda. So this whole Brahman, how has it become Prajna, Taijasa and Vishwa? By Upadhi. And the Upadhi is reflecting the Swarupa. That's what he's saying. Prajna Taijasa Vishwabhedena Deva Manushya Tiryagadi Deha Vedeshu Vibhavyamanaha. In the Deva Sharira, Manushya Sharira and Tiryak Sharira, all the Devata, human, animals and birds and Adi Padat, everything, even grass and ant and everything, right? Deha Vedeshu Vibhavyamanaha Chetomshavaha ye, the rays of Chaitanya, Tan Purushaha Pratak Vishayabhava Vilakshanan, different from the inert things, Agni Vispulingavati Salakshanan, like the fire in as spark, both are same. Spark is no different from fire. Jalarkavacha Jivalakshanastu Itaran Sarvabhavan Pranaha Bijatma Janayati. It is the same Brahmastu which is Prana Bija that creates all these experiences, the manifold experiencing entities, things of experience, are manifestation of the same Vastu in the form of sparks of fire, while all that exists is one fire alone, which is Ravehe Amshaha, Amshavaha, the rays of the sun. Yatornadabihi yata agnehe kshudra vispulingaha ityadi shrutehe. We will see these in the next class. But the essence is, it is the same prana which is the Satkaranam for this whole world. You can't say that everything is born from void or Shunya. It is a Brahmavastu which is as though born. And once you cognize that, that is moksha. Where is moksha? You are mukta. You don't have to go and reach anywhere. Where will you go? Even if you go, it is your own Swarupa only. Therefore, nowhere, you don't need to go, nor can you go anywhere, because wherever you go, the going is you, the goer is you, the destination is also you. So the Brahman is what alone exists. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.